digital campfire. Weird because it breaks a lot of the social grammar. Your face is very large for me right now. No. That's the point. Mine is for you too, or for the viewers. I just met you. This is inappropriate intimacy.
One person out of 100 somehow extract that piece and transmit it across time.
Oh,
right? There are ways, and people are working. It's a fascinating way to level up finding insight.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you, a fascinating way. Son of a. Where do I have to sit for this to work, Paul? Okay, over here. All right. I present to you Shadow Matriarchy and Euphemism. My video response, including exciting clips and highlights from Paul Vanderklay's recent drop, Marriage something. So the story goes as follows. Once upon a time, I've made this video called Of Mice and Mankind. And then the other time, what happened was, Paul Vanderklay dropped a video because he's got this crush on Chris Williamson right now. And so he dropped so he did this, he pulled some of his thing and did this marriage video. And I'm like, this is my response to you in the Twitter. I should have pulled up the Twitter. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I'm an amateur. That's what makes it adorable, is because anybody could do this. It's just us thinking together on what did, oh, there it is. Aha, and I can show you now. Look here. Oh, it's loading slow. I'm being choked. My internet is being throttled. They're silencing me. I know too much of the truth. Okay, so anyway, I got the achievement unlocked that he retweeted. My response to your video was this. But I don't know that he actually watched it. So I'm going to show it to you at the end because I watched through today his whole spiel. And not once did he bring up the coherent points present to you in the Of Mice and Mankind video. But he did have like 4 really important good bits. And if you don't have the 2 hours to watch it, you can get those from here, this short video from Grimgriz. Okay, here we go. First, he shows this other guy's video, and he makes the most important of points here. Sorry. Here. This is when I was supposed to start. I can edit it, but you might have watched this before I edit, so you know. Behold the power of edits. Or if you're the special loyal followers who see before they're made. I like you the best.
You should have watched a video or two before you decided to call, but she wants to hear the answer. And again, I thoughts arise in my mind why she would call and have this experience with him. Maybe she just wants to be on the internet. It's a big channel. But again, I want to know the psychological dynamics of this because I don't, and it's fascinating, frankly.
Woman, let me explain it to you. I'll try.
Thanks.
You're a woman that was with a man for 6 or 7 years, and you gave him the highest honor a woman can give any man on the planet. You gave him children.
This is me pausing, underlining, and then underlining, and then underlining. But I'm only going to do it once.
You gave him not only one, any man 6 or 7 years, and you gave him the highest honor a woman can give any man on the planet. You gave him children. You gave him not only one, you gave him 2. And yet you did not require him to even bestow the title of a wife upon you. So you go back out into the market, older.
And market is important. And, you know, it's really amazing to me that you can have people who really say, well, I'm against capitalism. Oh, okay. So you're against markets. But I'm all for sexual liberation. Sexual liberation is basically creating a sexual market. Traditional forms of male and female sexuality in the world, there are problems. I'm not going to disagree with that. But it took that out of the realm of the marketplace to one degree or another. What we have now is an open market. And when people themselves are in an open market, bad things happen. So
Dum, dum, dum.
saying, well, I don't trust markets. Don't be a sexual libertarian, because all you're doing is saying, we think the market should decide. And the market's going to make some cruel decisions.
Speaking of which,
You can read it all in the Substack. This is what I wrote this morning. And a lot of times I don't edit these things, and so there's problems in the text. I should really change that. The widespread damage of children through the divorce of their parents is now 2 generations deep. If you watch the Bachelor shows, the marriage for life hunger is breathless, but seems overly aspirational. They're not setting themselves up well to do it. They sound like someone who wants to run a marathon but has never spent a day in their life training. What it takes to build a lifelong marriage goes beyond good intentions. It takes wisdom, tradition, and community. The new regime in the pursuit of lifelong marriage is an audition culture. First, you audition a potential spouse in bed. One young man told me that the women he sleeps with always seem to be performing rather than connecting. They're auditioning. They're trying to qualify for the role of wife. And a lot of the men, maybe they don't want that right now. And maybe when they're ready, they'll find someone who is in her early 20s who doesn't have any children and wants that and is ready to start. And all of the other women that the man knew will say, why didn't you marry me? Well, I wasn't ready.
and then later on, he gets the next important part is actually kind of a tangent. So I'll come back to it, maybe. Yes. Okay. So we'll jump to 57 for this bit.
On the whole, women don't want to date a man that is less educated, less rich, and lower status than them, and also one that's shorter than them. You are going to have an ever-increasing group of women competing for an ever-decreasing group of high-performing men. The men that sit below them don't win anything. So there's more incels, there's more underperforming men. White-collar women don't want to date blue-collar guys, and most of the women, even the ones that went to college, they're now competing for this tight group of chads at the fucking super performing rowing chads at the top. And the only ones that win are these fucking turbo weapons, the 9 out of 10 and 10 out of 10 guys that have got
Turbo weapons.
MBAs, the ones who are able to outperform intellectually, socially, and monetarily. The women, they're the only ones that are left that are able to date. So nobody wins except for Chad. Chad fucks.
Wait.
And there was his soundbite, and then like Paul, you kind of spaz out on the guy with the microphone. So I'm gonna skip ahead back to here.
Now we have to ask the question, because sort of with Kevin Samuels and the dating market and men want hookups and all of that, they do. But how long do they want them? I mean, after they have had, just saw someone come by the door, was ready for the knock. After they have had 10, 20, 30,
Ready for the
40,
knock.
50.
Ready for the knock. That's a good Christian one there.
Is ready for the knock. After they have had 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 partners. And some women will be like, it's not unusual.
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone.
I've talked to a number of men like this who have had huge sexual histories, and they say to me, who has not had a huge sexual history at all, I'd rather have what you have. You'd rather have what I have. And they're not talking about my smoking hot wife. I've just Mark Driscolled myself. I'd rather have what you have. Wife, family, commitment, children.
Yada, yada, yada.
Why? What do we really want?
You have no idea. But you go into another interesting bit here real quick. I think
How we how we impart wisdom to our children. And a lot of it, people will often ask me, well, how about advice for parenting? Well, be the person you want your children to become. Why don't you start there? Because they will, whatever they're talking, you are imprinting on them. Their first draft, their first mapping is very much from you and your relationship with your spouse, for better and for worse, usually. But marriage doesn't end the climbing, because marriage is sort of, in some ways, just a relief. There's this great scene in Harry Met Sally when, of course...
Well, you see, Paul, with the power of the internet, what scene was it?
Sally go on a double date with his best friend and her friend, and...
I also wrote Pasteur's The Quiche of the 80s.
Get over yourself.
I did.
Where did I read that?
New York Magazine.
Sally writes for New York Magazine.
You know, that piece had a real impact on me. I mean, I don't know that much about writing, but
Look, it spoke to you, and that pleases me.
I mean, I really you have to admire people who can be that articulate.
Nobody has ever quoted me back to me before.
This is probably the part.
Oh, I've been looking for a red suede pump. Because I feel really comfortable with him.
No,
Good, good, good.
But for tonight, you shouldn't. I mean, Sally's very vulnerable right now.
Bruno Kirby and, it's Princess Leia. Can't think of her name right now. And Harry and Sally are going up, and they're ups and downs, and they're ups and downs, and they're ups and downs, and those two just fall back in bed. Oh, isn't it wonderful we're married? Such a relief to be out of the dating market. And I will...
That's all well and good. That's enough. This part, because like I tell Kurt Jamungle, Vanderklay is doing like the most in cognitive outsourcing with the YouTube channel that I've seen. And this little bit here shows everyone who watches the videos that it's true and the thing. Watch here.
I will...
Not here. Watch here. As soon as the internet lets us. Hey! They're silencing me. No. Hi, would you like to sponsor Grimgriz for a better internet? Or are you considering leaving California and would like to try Oklahoma? If it's the latter, I have a house for sale. Only $75,000. Wait, no, you're from California. Only $125,000. Meanwhile, internet, come on. Okay, this is gonna be clipped eventually. This is the life we share, you and we share. Don't you know it's true? I do it for you. I do for you.